Please turn off all cell phones until after Jumah, please. Thank you. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Hayya ala salat. Hayya ala salat. Hayya ala falah. Hayya ala Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. La ilaha illallah. Should be over here. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, Nasta'inuhu wa nastaghfiruhu wa nu'minu bihi azza wa jal. Nashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah wa nashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu sallallahu alayhi wa sallam wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in, amma ba'd. We offer this translation, Alhamdulillah, all the praise belongs to Allah, Rabb, the God and Evolver, the cherisher and sustainer of all the systems of knowledge. Nashaddu, we seek Him for assistance and we ask for His forgiveness and we put our trust in him, he that is almighty and sublime. And we witness that there is no deity, no God, worthy of worship except Allah, one alone, with no partners with him. And we witness that Muhammad is his servant and his messenger. The prayers and peace be upon him and upon his family and companions, all of them, and what follows of that excellent salutation. Originally it was scheduled for our resident Imam, Imam Talib Sharif, to do the khutbah, which is the talk. We give it called a khutbah. Khatib does it. But he was unable, and he has left us a statement based on the horrific situation that happened there in Pittsburgh at the Jewish synagogue. So I'll use the second half just to read verbatim his statement, and then we will conclude. But from me, we're speaking from the concept of the logic of Al-Islam. And of course, when we say the logic, we mean the thinking, the perception, the understanding, the formal guiding principles of a certain discipline or a school or a science. In this case, it's of Al-Islam. Now, in the Quran, many times we say Islam, but in the Quran it is always referred to with the definite article, Alif Lam, that is Al-Islam. And when we say Islam from the root, just like English words have roots, or the Arabic words usually have three-letter roots. In this case, Salama, which means peace. And for us, peace is achieved by two things, and they may seem synonymous: obedience and submission. Obedience suggests, yes, you're actually carrying out the act, but submission suggests that you are also submitting your heart and your mind to the act that you're carrying out. Now, we can recall as parents, sometimes we ask our children to do certain things, and they obeyed us, but when we see the aftermath, maybe the broken dishes, maybe the busted window, etc., then we know they didn't submit. So I hope you get an idea from that. And so where does this logic, the logic of Al-Islam, where does this come from? It comes from the established rituals, the established sunnah of the Prophet. So it comes from the rituals, it comes from the Quran. Quran, a word, when we see, Bible means many books. That's how we refer to the Bible. They have the Torah, law, for us the Quran. And what is the Quran? We find it in the second chapter. It says, this is the book, in it is God ensured without doubt. So we believe that the Quran is a book of instruction. For who? For Muslims. No, it is a book of instruction from God to all those he has created, which are all human beings, regardless of what they may say is their religious persuasion. It's still a book for them. So we have the Quran. We also have the logic comes from the Prophet Muhammad. And it is for us, we say Prophet Muhammad, prayers and peace of Allah be upon him, or we say Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. We may say it publicly, or we may say it privately, but it should register on our hearts. And also it comes from the hadiths. We have quite a few hadiths. Some are more established than others. And the hadiths represent the sayings of the Prophet, or how he responded in certain situations or certain things that he said, as well as some of our Sahabas, which are the close companions of the Prophet. Now, how each and every one of us, we come from different cultures, especially here in Washington, D.C., is very noticeable. We have different cultures, we have different skills, we have different employments, different preferences, we have a different socio-economic status, different education, different where we're coming from and where we're going. But how are each and every one of us, even though we vary in this way, how are we to apply Al-Islam in our daily lives? That's the challenge. We know we have the words Muslims, and then we know we have the word believers. But believe it or not, believers, believer and believers, which is names of two chapters, surahs in the Quran, they're mentioned more than the word Muslim. So that's our real destiny, is to be a believer. In fact, for us, only in this here in this atmosphere, I would say, we don't see it as a religion, because soon as we say religion, then certain people in the broader community, then they start putting us in different categories. No, we say it is really the essence of nature of creation itself. The essence of creation itself. So the moon we consider a Muslim. The sun we consider a Muslim. The trees we consider Muslim. And we ourselves, we are born as Muslim. It is up to us to stay as that and to try to be a believer. So how do we apply Islam in our daily lives? I'm going to give you this statement. And this statement, we've been mentioning quite a bit whenever I talk. That is, religious expression requires a social context. So what this is the different rituals, like you see some of the brothers and sisters now, they're doing different rituals when they make the salat. There's a difference in prayer and salat. Salat is a ritual that we do so many times at the different times in the day. We have the Fajr, we have the Dhuhr that we're praying now, but notice it's 2 rakahs instead of 4. So the 2-part khutbah takes place of that. And we also have Asr, we also have Maghrib, and we also have Isha. So religious expression, that is the rituals that we're doing, they require a social context. So if you're doing these rituals and you have no idea how to apply that in your regular life, then you're not just a slave of God, you're a slave of the ritual. And we find different people doing different things, different times. If you may not accept this, with the example I'm going to give you anyway, I'm going to CVS. And right in the doorway is a brother, and he is at this time performing, I guess, Salatul Dhuhr. That was not a good thing to do. So I positioned myself so that people wouldn't step on him, this and that. He appreciated it, but he should understand that would not be applying a ritualist expression, which is a salat, as a social context, not there at the doorway as we're going to CVS. So we're talking about the application of the logic of the rituals. This is what we're talking about. The first we're going to mention, we have quite a few we're mentioning. We're going to mention first is Shahadatain. You can say Shahada. Most of us say Shahada. Shahadatain suggests it's 2 parts. We witness that there's nothing worthy of worship except God, and Muhammad is the messenger of God. So it was asked, what is Islam? And it replied, Al-Islam-Imam That is, Islam, Al-Islam. Al-Islam is built, in this case it's a buni, so I could say base, but I'm saying built on 5 things. What are they? They are declaring that there is no deity, no Allah. You know, we should let people know this too. When we say Allah, it's more than one word. It's definite article, A-L, in front of Allah. Al plus Allah equal Allah. So that suggests what? That suggests everything that you come in contact with, everything that you hear, you see, you taste, you touch, you smell, should not be your Allah. It's what's responsible for those 5 senses that you came in contact with. So that is what we mean. We say there's nothing worthy, no Allah but Allah. So Islam is built on 5, declaring there's no God except Allah, and that Muhammad, what does that mean? You hear, Alhamdulillah, Muhammad, one that is worthy of praise. And we can check, go Google it, etc. You'll find that there are more people named Muhammad than any other name in the world. And some that say first and last name. Some say Muhammad, and then they Shakir Muhammad. So here we have it as twice. And then we have the establishment of Salat. We say qam to salat. A lot of times we might think that means to stand, but it comes from a word that means to establish. So not only should we be making this salat here in the masjid, we should be making it throughout our life in different places. Matter of fact, the Prophet said that the whole earth is Allah's masjid. So that suggests when we come in contact with you at Whole Foods, we come in contact with you at Exxon gas station, we come in contact with you stopping at the light at the intersection, we should still be conducting ourselves as a Muslim, and consequently, we hope, as a believer. So it says the establishment of Salat, the payment of Zakat. You would think Zakat means money, but it actually comes from a word that means purification. And then we have the Hajj, and then we have the Saum. And it gives us in the Quran that all of us are to make Hajj at least once in a lifetime if we can afford it. So therefore, we see how merciful Allah is. Now we say the Shahada, and we mentioned 5. Every time, wherever we see in scriptures, whether it's the Quran or whether it's in the Bible or in the Torah, and we see what's emphasized here is 5. So look at the 5. 5 fingers, 5 senses: hear, see, smell, taste, feel. In the Bible, it says when David picked up the stones, he had 5 stones, and he picked up one and killed Goliath, which is a play on word. They call him Goliath, but it really means Goliath. which is the basis of most of the wrong we're doing, a lie. So he picked up the stone, and the first stone he hit in his forehead. Just the same thing that we put on the ground for salat, which is why they call this a masjid. We make sujood. Also there they have in the scriptures, they have that the first thing he did was hit him right in the forehead and killed him. And then we also have with the 5, we also have Jesus in the Bible, he did the 5 loaves of bread. You know how first says, Iqra, read. Iqra, Rabbika alladhi khalaq, right? And the Quran comes from the same word. Well, you take the B off of bread, you have read. So there is a connection. And it mentions how Jesus fed the multitude with the 5 loaves of bread. So therefore, we see the importance of 5. And then, of course, we have 5 solats. Yes. So this is what we're talking about. That we have to apply the logic of the rituals that we have. The rituals are just ritual. The rituals are not what make you a believer. The ritual are not what save you. Someone asked me, what a church asked me, well, when you get up from salat, now therefore you don't tell a story anymore, you don't tell a lie anymore. Say, no, I might be subject to. That was a ritual I was doing, to put on my mind, on my heart, what it is that I'm doing and why I'm doing. I'm commanding my body to do it. My body's not doing it on its own. I'm commanding. So I question myself, why am I doing these, the number of times I'm doing it, and how much we're doing it. We're doing it because we believe in Allah. So again, it says, the application of the logic of the life of Muhammad. This is also how we have to apply the logic of the life of Muhammad. And in Surah 33, Ayah 21, it's recited often, Laqad kana lakum fi Rasulillahi uswatun hasanatun. Laqad, indeed, it says fi Rasulillahi, in the messenger of Allah. He is the messenger from Allah to us. Our prophet, but he's the messenger bringing a message from God. And that God is believed in God. And it says, indeed, in the messenger of Allah, you have for you an excellent model or pattern. For who? For Muslims? For believers? For anyone whose hope is in Allah and the final day and remembers Allah much. Right. All of these, the garments I have on, they can be replaced hundreds, millions of times. Right? How is that? Because they are following a certain pattern. They follow a certain pattern, and consequently, they come out with the same garments. The same for us as human beings. The main thing we're getting from the prophet is his character. So are you like the prophet to your neighbor see you like the prophet? Does your co-worker see you like the prophet? Do your children see you like the prophet? Etc., etc. So the main thing we're emphasizing is his character. The character of the prophet. And of course we know when he was young, he was called El-Amin, the trustworthy, and Sadiq, the truthful. Yes. Now I've been reading this before, and this struck me. I saw it once, I think it was, I don't remember exactly where I was, but listen to the words of it. Character. And as a teacher, I heard it enlarged, children can see it. Watch your thoughts, they become words. Watch your words, they become actions. Watch your actions, they become habits. Watch your habits, they become character. Watch your character, for it becomes your destiny. And so we can account for today how many believers we have, how many people that are following one man, who follow that man, and we have no pictures. I think it's beautiful. No pictures, no statues, so we can try to look like the prophet. No, all we have is his words and his deeds. And so that's what we're following in our various roles in life. Again, we have the application of the application of the logic of the hadith. So we are beginning to wrap up the first part. So we believers, remember I said we have Muslim, we have believers. I'm not going to say it's not, I would be wrong to say in this atmosphere, it's not anything to be a Muslim, but yeah, we believe we are born as Muslim. But what we're trying to achieve is become a mu'min, become a believer. And it says, we the believers who believe in Allah, the last day, we are actually like at war. We have a book downstairs. And it says, life, the final battlefield. And that's what it's about. And especially, really, as I look out in the audience, some of you parents who have a tremendous job on your hand to see to all of the things in culture that are pulling on our children and pulling on us even to try to remain as the way God intended us. Where we are coming from, where we're going. Yes. I have here the schemes of Satan, the enemy of man. This particular book says the schemes of Satan, the enemy of man. Not God, the enemy of man. because he wants to prove man is not worthy. The enemy of man works to defeat the God conscious, So we have our cultures, different cultures. We have our different skills, our employment, our preferences, our social reformers, status, education, etc. We have to use all at our disposal. And I'm going to mention a couple of things. Some of the things, use it all at our disposal, which we have at our hands, to establish human life. Can you keep in mind what I'm saying there? Human life, the name of the book, Life the Final Battlefield, we have to use all at our disposal to have human life as designed and as intended and as planned by the one who created human life. That's the challenge for us in this day and time, this age of technology, etc., etc. That is our challenge, to try to have all at our disposal. Yes, to have human life as designed and intended and planned by the one who created us. And there was something else we wanted to mention here, the different things that are influencing us. We have just a minute. We have the computer, and the computer puts out different things that we have. No, we want to make sure that we're living the life as intended by God. So the first thing I'm going to read, not influencing you in there, we had a group called, and we had one at this semester called the Boy Scouts. The Boy Scout. This is when we had morality in our life. The Boy Scout. And the Boy Scout, it says, the Boy Scout law says, a scout is trustworthy. Was that one of the what our prophet was called? Al-Islam-Imam. Trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and last, reverent. Yes. This was when we read our morals together. This was a scout law. Scout oath. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country and to obey the scout law. To help other people at all times. To keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. Yes, and the motto was, be prepared, etc. So this is what we read at one time. We have to use everything at our disposal. Another concept I have here is freedom. Also, I have here freedom. What is freedom? I'll offer you this definition. Freedom is to move in our intellect. It's to move in our intellect to a greater vision, a greater purpose, a greater responsibility until we are comfortable with ourselves, in our life, and in our purpose on this earth. Yes. And we offer also hadith. This is hadith 38, which I'm sure many of us are familiar with. When Allah created paradise and hellfire, he sent Gabriel to the paradise saying, look at it, and what I have prepared therein for its inhabitants. He said, so he came to it and looked at it, and at what Allah had prepared therein for its inhabitants. He said, so he returned to him and said, by your glory, no one hears of this paradise, I added that, without entering it. So he ordered that it be encompassed by forms of hardship. He didn't change the paradise, but he had the paradise surrounded by forms of hardship. And he said, return to it, and look at what I have prepared therein for its inhabitants. He said, so he returned to it and found that it was encompassed by forms of hardship. Then he returned to him and said, by your glory, I fear that no one will enter it. He said, go to it, look at it. He said, he ordered that it be encompassed lust. Then he said, return to it, and by glory I'm fighting. No one, that's all of it, no one will be able to escape from entering that. And that is kind of the time we're living in, somewhat a culture of death. Last but not least, we're going to mention, and all of these go together, the importance of the family. You know, we call each other, we say brother and sister, don't we? So I think brother so-and-so, As-salamu alaykum, sister so-and-so. Right, to suggest we are a part of a world community. And you really sense it, please, make yourself available to make it to Hajj. Hajj, the journey there, once in a lifetime. And here we're just reading this verbatim. It says here that we're talking about marriage. Most of us think about marriage, we think of male and female, right? Husband and wife, etc. But you also got two eyes. They work together. You have 2 ears. You have 2 lips. You have a physical and spiritual part of you. You have 2 hands. You have 2 legs. You have 2 feet. You have 2 kidneys. And we can go on and on. We have life and death. Yes. We have news, north, east, west, and south. We have summer, winter, fall, and spring. We have the hemispheres, etc., etc. So I'm reading this verbatim, and it says, Iblis, Satan has his throne above the watered sea and sends from it his detachments. The closest of them to him at day's end are those who cause the greatest trial. It says here the ones that he considers closest to him, Satan, that is the greatest trial. One of them comes back to him and says, I did such and such. Satan replies, you've done nothing. Then another comes in and says, I did not leave him alone until I caused division between him and his wife. So Satan draws him close and says, well done. Yes. So we go on. Satan's scheme to break up the family. This scheme of Satan perhaps is the scheme that all other schemes can be seen under, or this one scheme can reveal all the other schemes. What am I talking about? It's his scheme to break up that which should be together, to divide that which should be united, to separate that which should be together. To break up the family is one of the objects of Satan. You know, we got Walmart, right? We got Sears, we have the different gas stations, we have a Whole Foods, we got Safeway Giant. You know, most of those where they feed off of the family. To break up the family is one of the objects of Satan. That's what he has to do. Because if he doesn't break up the families, then there is an authority in the life of the people. Family is an organization. Family is an institution. The whole society has been built upon the institution we call family. The family is the mother of all other units of society. Don't we say Mother Nature? Family mothered all other units of society. It is deserving of a discussion in detail. When he divides the family, the father has no authority, no voice in the house. The mother has no authority, no voice in the house. The children in the family are all separated, and the family is disunited. Then, when Satan makes his appeal, who do the children watch to see if he should be obeyed or not? Nobody turns to anybody in the house to see if they should obey the invitation of Satan. When that family is disunited and the members have no respect for the parents, for the father, or for the mother, then the voice of Satan can come in easily. They talk about how great the society is and how wonderful this democracy is, but if you look at the opportunity given to Satan in our democracy, you will see that the democracy is beautiful on one end and very ugly on the other. Put out the fires of Satan. God doesn't tell us to go after Satan. That is not the way to find Satan. Satan doesn't have a sharp nose, white skin, blue eyes, yellow hair. Satan is not red skinned with horns sticking out of his head. A picture won't take you to Satan unless it is a picture of his schemes. We don't care who started the fire. Just let us put it out. Maybe we will catch the one who started later. That is the way you can catch Satan. You can put out his fire. That's what Allah wants us to do. If we put out his fires, we put him out of business. That is what Allah wants us to do, to put Satan out of business. Put out Satan's fires of drugs. Put out Satan's fires of alcoholism, sex abuse, etc. All these crimes and all this corruption in our lives. Let us fight corruption and evil. Let us fight cruelty. Let us fight lies and falsehoods. Allah has told us in the Quran that that is the way he wants us to defeat Satan. Alhamdulillah. Yes, now we're going to read a statement from Imam Talib Sharif. So, concerning the tragedy that happened there at the synagogue in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So let's listen. I'm sure at a later time you want copies of it, etc. That shouldn't be a problem. This is from Imam Talib Sharif of Masjid Muhammad, the nation's mosque, response to the violent attack at the synagogue in Pittsburgh. Let's remember too, you know how we're turning the clocks back, but we will maintain here at Masjid Muhammad still having a Jumah prayer at 1 o'clock. So it'll be the same next week. We join all those across the nation and around the world who are standing in solidarity with the Jewish community, offering heartfelt condolences and prayers for the families of the 11 innocent lives tragically taken, as well as those lives shaken, shattered, and left void by yet another senseless act of violence driven by hate that took place at the Tree of Life Synagogue in Pittsburgh. We continue to be outraged and troubled by acts of hate, terror, or extremism which gravely disturbs our souls. Nevertheless, it is tragedies like these that cause our collective souls to hurt and care for those affected as one human family. These senseless acts of savage killings are drawing people of faith and good conscience together. As we are witnessing countless responses, these experiences shine a bright light on our unity and strength as a nation as we respond with a helping and embracive hand. As some of the headlines read, the white male shooter in Pittsburgh yelled anti-Semitic remarks about Jews as he stormed into the synagogue. The immediate conclusion registers a racist act of hate, which was met with the Department of Justice initiating a welcome and appropriate hate crime investigation. While race was the description used for the gunman, it could have been a religious or ethnic description. And while this is initially being labeled a hate crime with a different description used, it may have been labeled a terrorist act. Some act against civilians but classified differently. Yet, the behavior meets that of terrorism. It appears we are creating an environment that doesn't provide a comprehensive view of the threats due to the seemingly major terrorist problem being those with religious labels. While in fact, most deadly acts of terrorism committed in the United States are by dangerous, bitter racists, extremists, as in this incident. What group or what misguided sentiment in the society ill-inspired this attacker? It is certainly apparent that a divisive, racially charged atmosphere has been prevalent in our society. Nevertheless, it doesn't matter who attackers are or what they claim. All acts of violence, whether committed by people claiming a race or faith, or committed against people of different race or faiths, are criminal, destructive, and inhumane, and are not condoned by civil societies or by the religions of Judaism, Christianity, Islam, or any of the other beautiful faiths. Any person, no matter how desperate their situation, whether real or perceived, there is no justification for them to murder and make helpless, vulnerable, innocent humans the target of their terror, their hate, or their violence. There is no excuse and no time in which such senseless and inhumane acts should be carried out. As a human and a member of this great nation, I feel it is part of my duties and obligations to assist in any efforts to create an environment that encompasses our shared freedom space in which such a climate of violence, whatever the motive, does not exist. This horrific attack reminds us of the importance of discussing ways to improve safety, even within the most sacred of places and assemblies. We must look at these mass killings and learn from them so do not continue to occur, whether it is gun laws, violence in video games, media, magazines, or concerns in areas of mental health. We cannot close our eyes to the signs we are given, nor can we close our eyes to the roles that our actions, thoughts, words, products, and services play in nurturing the minds of our fellow citizens. We urge radicals to stop inciting and carrying out hate and violence and instead work for unity, peace, the betterment of humanity, and a better world. The enormous value and sacredness that our Creator puts on human life should be caution enough to prevent these senseless acts of violence and killings. We must continuously ask ourselves what we can do to better ourselves, our communities, and promote change and excellence. All of us should strive for and be driven by our best human motivations and the best excellence that Almighty God has created and caused us to inherit from the best of human beings. If we do that, we will have a better beautiful and more peaceful world. Alhamdulillah. Akim as-salat.
Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah. Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. Hayya ala salat, hayya ala salat. Qad qamat as-salat, qad qamat as-salat. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. La ilaha illallah.
Let us make sure our lines are straight, no gaps between us. This is a part of Salat. Allahu Akbar.
Allahu Akbar.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina as-siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta alayhim. Ghayril maghdubi alayhim waladdallin. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Iqra bismi rabbikal ladzi khalaq. Khalaqal insana min 'alaq. Iqra wa rabbikal akram. Alladhi alama bil qalam. Alama al insana ma lam ya'lam. Allahu Akbar. Sami Allahu liman hamida. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ar-Rahmanir-Rahim. Maliki Yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdina as-siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladzina an'amta alayhim. Ghayril maghdubi alayhim waladdallin. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wal asr. Innal insana lafi khusr. إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالحق وتواصوا بالصبر. الله أكبر. سمع الله لمن حمده. الله أكبر. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Takbir! Takbir! Takbir!
Assalamu alaikum. We thank Imam Yusuf Saleem, the past resident Imam of Masjid Muhammad, for that informative, enlightening khutbah. And I only have a few announcements. Please don't forget to give your sadaqah. We know salat and sadaqah go together. And there's a basket going around for you to, if you can only put $1 in there, try to do that, inshallah. It says here, on November the 19th, there's a project, Rosanna, in McLean, Virginia, and they're going to have a halal dinner afterwards. You can RSVP for that at the USA office at projectrosana.org. If you don't have the announcements, get the announcements, and all the information is there. Next Saturday, the Muslim American Veterans Association will be having its annual Veterans Day dinner, and the dinner will be free for all veterans and seniors. Everyone else, we ask for a small donation, and that's at 6 p.m. next Saturday. And on Sunday, we'll be going to Arlington Cemetery to lay a wreath at the grave of one of our World War I veterans who we just found out was a World War I veteran and one of the pioneers, the first spokesman for the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Muslim Family Day at Six Flags takes place tomorrow. I guess if you don't have a ticket, I don't know if they all sold out, but you can go to www.muslimfamilyday.com. And it says here, on Sunday, actually November the 3rd, at Howard University, a play called Not Without My Hijab takes place at 4 p.m. and that's at Crampton Auditorium at Howard University. Don't forget our sick and shut in. Make dua for them and visit them if you can. And there's a Not Without My Hijab book signing and brunch from 2 to 4. I believe that's going to take place here at Masjid Muhammad. But you can go to Mom Network Brunch 2018 or momnetworkusa@gmail.com or contact her sister Sheila. Anything else? Okay. Alhamdulillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jumah Mubarak.
Thank you, dear brother.